YouTube podcast world. What's up, family? You already know the name, man. Page and Plays podcast here. Going to be giving y'all week 18 upset alerts. If you haven't already, please check week 18 picks. I got the whole thing, important games, irrelevant games, all of that. I will say this segment was great ever since I've been doing it, it's been pretty solid. It just gives you perspectives on things. We got the Cardinals that won, upset, one outright cover spread, however you want to call it, last week too. I mean, it's just games like that, man, because this is meant to happen. That's just how that goes. It is the NFL. It is football. So let's get into it. Let's see, we have one, two, three, four, five. We have 6 games to talk about. So let's get right into it. Texans at Colts. I'm going with the Texans still. I see them plus 100 on the money line in some books. I think when it first opened, it was still like minus, it was like a minus 104 or something like that. If you can get Texas at plus money, listen, I know this AFC South has been kind of a roller coaster. Now that this comes down to the last week to decide who wins what. But I do think the Texans find a way to win this game, man. It's just CJ Stroud is just one of those unique unicorn quarterbacks that comes in. Kind of almost reminds me of when Joe Flacco first came into the league with the Ravens or Big Ben with the Steelers when they first came in the league. They did their thing, and then eventually, we saw Super Bowl championships and contenders for the rest of their career most of the way. And that's how I see Stroud looking. The running game has been kind of decent. Singletary starting to run the ball a little bit more. Texas has a better defense. Yes, like I said, you have to worry about Jonathan Taylor and Zach Moss, Michael Pittman. And it's really Downs. I think Downs is the only one that's the real over-the-top receiver. So if you can kind of take the over-the-top away with him, you pretty much get you could pretty much almost play zone, and have everything play in front of you for the most part. Stingley has been a beast on the defensive side. We know about Will Anderson and them. Gardner Minshew hasn't been that bad, but I think this might be a game where he gets challenged a little bit more because this Texas defense is kind of legit. Shout out to Miko Ryans. He needs to be considered for coach of the year, absolutely. Next one, Jacksonville Jaguars at the Titans. Titans plus 5.5. Listen, man, this is going to be a tough physical game. We still don't know about Trevor Lawrence's injury. So I think 5.5 is assuming that he is going to be playing. That's almost what I feel like is the assumption. Yeah, but the Titans isn't that good either, though, right? I mean, Derrick Henry looks like he's done. He can't even get a touchdown no more, which is pretty sad, right? We see D-Hop, so we've seen some emergences. We've seen some good, some bad. But think about this Titans team, though. The secondary can't cover a soul. And you have to wonder, is this a game where it really kind of goes off? Because he's been kind of solid, but he hasn't had that game. You still got Evan Ingram. I mean, listen, this Jags team has talent. It's just sometimes it's been the coaching, and sometimes it's been Trevor Lawrence too, to a certain degree. I think the Titans find a way to win and cover this game. How the hell will Mike Vrabel do it? I don't know, but I think that's the reason why they do it, because of Coach Vrabel. Next game, we got to talk about this because I always have to mention this team now. Buccaneers against the Panthers. We know Panthers is at home. Panthers plus 5.5. I'm going with the Buccaneers to cover. Their win, they're in. I don't think they'll BS around, though, because they could have clinched it last week against the Saints. I think this one, you have to make a statement against the Panthers. And I could see it being a 27. Bro, I don't even know, bro. I could see it being a 24-3 game because the Panthers can't score. I mean, I gave them the opportunity to maybe make some noise against the Jaguars, and they didn't even score 1 point. It was a fat donut. I would like the under in this game because that's what the Panthers are. The Panthers are an under team. I would probably look at team total under. This team is an under team. It's just because the offense is bad. The defense is not. The defense is legit, but there's nothing on offense. No offensive line. Quarterback is inconsistent play. The running game has probably been the most solid thing they had. And then you got receivers, which I respect Adam Thielen, but this guy's older. No more separation. And they need receivers who can separate. So maybe in the offseason, of course, they don't have a draft pick in the first round, of course. You need to start maybe looking at players that can protect the quarterback, separate for the quarterback, and maybe get another running back option, man. And I think that will work. Just my idea. Just my idea, Tepper. That's all. But I still got the Bucks to win and cover. I think they're in. They win. Baker Mayfield does what he has to do. Next game, Seattle Seahawks -3 against the Cardinals. Yeah, this at the desert. So I mean, this is a game where the Seahawks have to win because they could have won last week. They blew that against the Steelers. Um, yeah, man, Kyler Murray is competitive, and I think that's the reason why you have to kind of be on your wheels in this game because Murray just finds ways, bro. I mean, this guy is amazing, bro. You have to give Murray his props. But this game here, man, Seattle has just too much firepower. And they got the better defensive secondary compared to the Cardinals. If you want to talk defense, I mean, who do the Cardinals have other than Buda Baker? I mean, I just want people to see this. The defense is what's going to hold this Cardinals team down, I believe. And if I'm the Cardinals, well, this is a situation you want Marvin Harrison Jr., but you got to hope the Bears trade out of the top 5, or at least the top 4. If they're going to trade a pick and keep Fields, that's the situation. And then you go straight defense. They need some linebackers. They need some D linemen, and they need some more. Bro, after you get Marvin Harrison Jr., if you hope to get him, you need to focus on all defense. I think that's the key for this team to be successful because we saw some fight with this team this year, and that's why this is an upset alert. Because we see fight. And Pete Carroll, it's time to wake up, buddy. It's time to wake up. You've been backs against the wall numerous times as a coach from USC days to now. You need to win this game. And it's all up to Geno at this point, bro, because Geno's going to be quarterback in this game. Next game, we talk about this Bears-Packers. As a Packers fan, man, I am a little worried. I think they can win this game, but Justin Fields is going to make us sweat because that's what Fields does, bro. Fields is a franchise quarterback. I think last week proved it all. But Jordan Love has been very impressive too. And I think the key to this team and the confidence is the run game. Aaron Jones looks very good. When Aaron Jones plays, this team does great. When he doesn't play, and it's always A.J. Dillon, they don't do too great. I've realized the pattern even when Aaron Rodgers was there. When Aaron Jones don't play, that team sucks. And I think Aaron Jones is hot. The last few weeks he's been very impressive. I don't see it changing. You can run on this Bears defense. Now, passing against them will be a little difficult, but you can run on this Bears defense. You run on this Bears defense, I can see you play action fake up the Dobbs, Reed. I don't know what Watson's been playing, man, because he's been having these hamstring injuries for the last year or two. And it is at this point, bro, I'm almost feel like that hamstring would never almost recover. But I think the Packers win this game, man. I do like the over in this game too, because I see both teams in the mid-20s. And lastly, I have to talk about this one, Bills, Dolphins, Dolphins +3. I got the Dolphins to win and cover. Is it crazy? Yes. That the Bills, and the Bills been fighting bro, they came back from the grave. It's crazy to say that. You would have thought they would have gave up. I believe if Pittsburgh loses that game, I think the Bills are in the game, or Bills are in the playoffs regardless. I guess it's just seeding at that point. And with the Dolphins, it's almost, this is how I look at it. They can go either A, let's win the division, let's get a home game, or they can go B and say, well, if Pittsburgh loses, well, we can rest everybody. We're already in the playoffs. But that means you have to play the Chiefs, right? If I'm not mistaken, they would have to play KC. I don't think they want to do that. I wouldn't want to do that. I would want to win this game outright. The one play I want people looking forward to, though, this Bills deep offense. Diggs has hit under his receiving props for the last 4 weeks. I don't think no one has realized that. I sprinkled a little bit of money on it just to see. I think it was like 69.5 last week, and I think he only had like 20 yards. It's crazy. Like Diggs hasn't been around, and I think that's also an issue. When does that come up as a problem? That's what I wonder. And then you got, Ramsey that's probably going to be checking Diggs too. And I think he still has that bad taste in his mouth from last year when they played against the Rams. He was with the Rams and he was just getting torched by Diggs. I do think it's a little different because now the Bills don't even go to Diggs first, you know, which is crazy. But I do think the thing about the Dolphins is when you have that offense with hopefully Mazard is back, you know, you got Hill, Waddle. It's the fact that that's so much speed. I don't think no one from the Bills defense can catch up and keep up with that speed. We also kind of saw them struggle with that. We want to say when they played in the playoffs last season, it was not even Tua playing quarterback. They struggled with the speed. I kind of see that happening. It being a primetime night game at Miami, the bright lights. I almost feel like Mike McDaniels has to show up for this game. I almost feel like they prepared for this game, which is why they got blew out so bad against the Ravens, because it was a look ahead game. And also, when you think about the Bills struggled against the Patriots. And the Patriots didn't do much. I don't even think Billy Zappi did anything. And they only lost by what, 6 points? So I do think it's a tight competitive game. But I do think the Miami Dolphins win and cover this game and win the AFC East title. You guys continue like the content, pass the word around, man. And let's get this money.